2021 program, Response, Resiliency, Restoration. I am Zena Haywood, Executive Vice President and Provost of Gateway Technical College, and I am honored to serve as your MC for our program. We are delighted that you are able to join us today. Although we have streamed our program live from Gateway's website for quite a few years, this is the first year that we have not had a live audience here in the Madrigano Conference Center on the Kenosha campus. For safety reasons, the only people participating live here in the auditorium, in addition to me, are our wonderful technical staff and our 4 speakers. Although our 60-minute program is virtual, I do have a couple of housekeeping announcements before introducing our first speaker. If you need sign language interpreting, please use the pin feature to pin Cara Thomas, found on the screen as Interpreter Cara, so you can find her easily. For anyone requesting closed captions, please click the CC button on the bottom of your screen. The program agenda is available on the gtc.edu/MLK website. It is my distinct honor and a pleasure to introduce Dr. Brian Albrecht, President and CEO of Gateway Technical College. Brian has served as the well-respected and very accomplished leader of Gateway Technical College for 15 years. Brian's visionary leadership has produced strong K-12 and business partnerships, commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, the creation of many programs and services like international education, the Gateway Promise and Promise to Finish programs, dual credit programs, saving families millions of dollars in tuition, and more importantly, a college-wide focus on student success. Dr. Albrecht has transformed Gateway into a nationally and internationally recognized model college. I present to you Dr. Brian Albrecht for opening remarks.
Thank you, Zena. You know, it is very different today being in the Madrigano Haribo Hall Conference Center without a room full of 400 people. But I can hear the virtual applause taking place right now as it's being streamed through our website and Facebook. So I want to just extend my great appreciation for each of you joining us today. While sometimes disappointment, such as not being able to meet face-to-face, causes us to reflect a little bit on the value that we play in each other's lives, what I've missed most so far already today is the fellowship that each of you bring to this special occasion. I would always arrive early and shake hands and get to see people that I haven't seen for a while, or many that I see regularly throughout our community as you do your amazing work. It's a chance to stop and say thank you and reflect upon the impact that each of you have. And that's really what today's all about. If you look at the 2 billboards behind me, one of them certainly says, we must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. So while today might be a little disappointing that we're not meeting face-to-face, never lose hope that we will figure out a way to control this coronavirus and next year be back here for fellowship. It's also important to note that the time is always right to do what is right. And it is right today to celebrate the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And what a terrific program you've put together today, Zena, with your planning committee. I'm excited to see and listen to some of the great speeches that we have, and more importantly, to stop a minute in my life and reflect upon what more I can do to make this world a better place. So thank you to the entire committee that has put today's program together, for all of our speakers that are going to be with us today, and congratulations to our outstanding humanitarian award winners. You exemplify our theme and inspire all of us to do more. Today, we're joined together to honor one man on his birthday, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We honor him for his immeasurable impact he had on our society. And if anyone ever questions you on whether or not one voice can make a difference, all they need to do is reflect on the life and legacy of Dr. King. It should also remind us that our voice can be serving as a sword of truth and courage. If we use our voices to stand up to injustice and equality, just imagine what our community would look like, how our children would view their future, and how our neighbors would serve each other. Yes, one voice does make a difference. Dr. King often spoke about the power of education and how education brings light to the darkness of ignorance. In his own words, the function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that's the true goal of education. And in 2021, we bring new hope. Hope for a democracy that values and nurtures civility. Hope that the effort to control the coronavirus continues down a path of healthy outcomes. And this gives me a chance to say thank you to our community, to all those first responders, the teachers, the nurses, the healthcare professionals, everyone that is serving in an essential role. Your service is greatly appreciated by everyone in our community. Hope that our children are resilient in the face of difficult learning environments. And hope, of course, that our voice carries forward the teachings of Dr. King in all that we do. I'm proud of our team at Gateway Technical College for your courage to offer community discussions and workshops that are called Communicating Responsibly in a Diverse World. The gathering of community voices is intended to strengthen our conversation around the understanding of diversity, equity, and inclusion. You can find out more about these opportunities at gtc.edu. And I encourage you to raise your voice and be a part of our community's dialogue. I conclude today with appreciation to the Planning Committee and to everyone that continues to have faith in a brighter tomorrow. And a challenge to each of us listening today and participating in our own way in the Martin Luther King Day celebration. And that it is up to us, it is our voice, the one voice that we have, to continue to have this dialogue and encourage others to get involved in our community so that we too can live a life of freedom. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, for those enlightening and inspiring remarks. You have truly set the tone for response, resiliency, and for restoration. It has been said that children are our future. However, our next speaker is definitely living in the present. Deanna Garrison is a 17-year-old senior at J.I. Case High School in the Racine Unified School District. She has been in the Case Eagle Theater Fine Arts program since her sophomore year. Deanna says she has always been an artist, even though she never truly studied art. She uses art as a way to express herself. Deanna is pretty reserved, so every day she creates visual art, songs, books, and poems. She will be performing an original piece called I Have Something to Say. In Deanna's own words, this poem helped me learn that I have a voice that matters. The poem is a chaotic free verse poem. Nevertheless, I hope that you will listen to what I have to say. I present to you Deanna Garrison, I Have Something to Say.
Okay, so. Hi, my name is Deanna Garrison, and I will be performing my poem, I Have Something to Say. Children are born with dreams. As a child, I dreamed of being a writer. I put my soul inside of the ink. I didn't need to be athletic. All I needed to do was think. As I got older, I felt my mind start to shrink and take shape. I absorbed good looks, books, and I've learned how to cook. I learned how to write well, fight well. I had stories to tell because every single day was a different lesson and every single curse became a different blessing. When people made fun of me and laughed, I lost my voice. I couldn't speak in class. Every day I wanted to open up, but my mind kept telling me to be silent. So I locked myself in a box. I could no longer talk, but I watched time tick away from the clock. Every day, I felt my silence to be pathetic, but I felt as if I was going to talk, I was going to regret it. Now, I don't say much in life. I know that I'm Black and that's all right. But when I open up my mouth, they say I talk white. Now, I didn't know that white was some kind of language. I always thought I was speaking proper English. There's a problem in society that I'd like to address. This whole world is a hot mess. How can I embrace my culture when my own people hate it? I rock my hair, how dare you call me outdated? Now, I try to keep a good attitude, but you continue to be rude and talk about my shoes. Now, I can buy new shoes and look like all of that, but you can find a new flaw and call my butt flat. I don't feel insecure anymore. I won't let you drive me insane. I don't care for your thoughts. I have too many in my own brain. But I do wonder what people see me as. Do they see me as good or bad? Because they have the audacity to ask, do you have a dad or did he leave? Is that your real hair, a wig or weave? Do you live off of EBT? Live in low-income apartments, eat free and reduced lunch, and live off the government? Do you talk ghetto outside of school? Do you act different just to be cool? Do you even talk at all? Martin Luther King had a dream, but I have dreams that I can fly and be free and be me, nothing that you've ever seen. And I hold it all in and it makes me want to scream, I have something to say. When the world is silent, I observe the world. I have something to say. It is because that I have observed that I have the nerve to say that I have something to say. While teens are cutting like paper and getting addicted to jewels and nicotine vapor, I have something to say. When I say that today it is cold, but there are homeless people, young and old, I have something to say. Do not push your agendas on me. Those are your wants and needs, not mine, so please, don't waste our time. I have something to say. As an African-American woman, I have grown up in a world of love and hate. You get one or the other. I have cried to my mother, saying that the girls in the locker room who reeked of perfume, the same ones who made fun of my body and called me fat, those ones who said my butt was flat, the girls who would grab me, split my hair, and check for weave, the same girls who would tell me to leave, because they felt as if I looked at them and called me a lesbian. But I have cried to my father, saying that the boys in the halls that would sit on the walls during class without a pass would enjoy to harass me until I became completely out of character. I have something to say. You believe that you're above me and you continue to judge me while I keep begging you to love me, saying that none of anything that I say exists, but I'm standing here telling you to believe me. I'm saying that it exists. I have something to say. Do you have something to say? I understand if you don't. But one more thing, this is not just how I feel. I've opened up my mouth because this is all real. They tell us to be original and they'll tell us to be new, but they'll tell us to shut up because that's a social cue. Thank you.
Thank you, Deanna, for sharing with our community what you have to say. Dr. King said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? To present the 2021 Gateway Technical College Humanitarian Awards, I present to you Jacqueline Morris, Vice President of Human Resources, Gateway Technical College.
Thank you, Zena, and good afternoon, everyone. Today is a day we celebrate the Dr. Martin Luther King's life, his life and his legacy. Dr. King's life and legacy encompass compassion, honesty, warmth, and a clear sense of purpose. Our 2021 humanitarian awardees also encompasses these same traits. This year, we are celebrating two amazing humanitarians. First, let's celebrate together the Seeds of Hope. Seeds of Hope is a nonprofit organization located in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, committed to ensuring the highest level of care to individuals with developmental and other disabilities. Jacob Chase nominated Seeds of Hope because it is his firm belief that Seeds of Hope is an organization which fully embodies the values and causes for which Dr. King worked so tirelessly, including equality, justice, freedom, and peace. Now we will hear from Jamie Stilling-Stepp, founder and board president of Seeds of Hope.
So we plant possibilities, and we plant possibilities for those with special needs. And how we do that is we do it through horticulture and culinary and recreation. So, you know, when I pictured this, I didn't exactly know. I just knew that those with special needs would excel if they were outside a little bit more and if they had purpose. Everybody needs purpose. And I saw that in a horticulture arena, they just accelerated. We all have abilities and we all have disabilities, but in today's world, there's a lot of abilities and disabilities that are judged more than others. And when people come to Seeds of Hope, what we do is we look for their gifts or their abilities, and we try to find opportunity for them to have purpose. So we find everybody's abilities and we try to find something for them to have success with, so they can focus on positive things within themselves. And when people focus on positive things within themselves, it makes them feel better about themselves, and they have less behavior issues, and they have a much fuller day. So how do we look at today and in 2020 and say, you know what, it wasn't what I would have picked, but how can I take all of the roadblocks that I was dealt, and how can I make something better from them? And something that came on my plate with being a mom and being a business owner with all of these things is, how do you help people to become all they can be? And it's respect, responsibility, and reverence. And so, you know, how can we look at 2020 and put respect, responsibility, and reverence into that picture and believe that we can make our world more beautiful than it was before? How can we take the tragedies and the downfalls that we had placed within our pathway, and how can we say, I'm going to make a difference and I'm going to make things better? Dr. Martin Luther King, do you think that he felt that he was a humanitarian? Do you think that he did it to be a humanitarian? And I look at, you know, him and his family, they would read the Bible. And so one thing with my 4 boys that I have, when they were young, we would, every night before they would go to bed, we would pray or we would read the Bible as well. And as you read the Bible, you see how you're supposed to treat. The Bible teaches you on how you're supposed to treat individuals and how you're supposed to live your life. And I think that just like Dr. Martin Luther King, I think he did that because he saw that there was more love that was needed within the world. And maybe he took who he was to show others how to love. And so I don't look at it as wanting to be somebody that's really good. I look at it as, this is who God taught me to be, and this is how we're supposed to treat others in the world. He wanted to make the world a better place. And I think that that's truly what I would like to do too, is I would like everybody to feel that they have a purpose and a place to belong in this world.
Next, let's celebrate together Gregory Bennett Jr. Gregory Bennett Jr. has been striving to make a positive difference in the Kenosha community by focusing on social justice and youth engagement. Adeline Green nominated Gregory because he has the same courage and fortitude that Dr. King displayed in speaking out about injustice and marching in peaceful protests to make things better for all members of society. He also has a focus on helping young minority youth to obtain exposure and opportunities in our Kenosha community. Let's hear from Gregory Bennett Jr. in his own words.
Peace in the Streets give people a safe, positive space to actually practice peace and birth their dreams and visions. So if that means bringing a community together or educating people about, voting or how to fight for justice and how to fight against injustice, then that's what Peace in the Streets is somewhere where we allow them to flourish, but we also encourage them to do it in a positive light instead of going toward the dark side, if that makes sense. My proudest moment, of course, was when, of course, we had Mayor Bosman, and we ended up opening up 3 community centers with the help of the Boys and Girls Club and the YMCA, where we were actually able to get the basketball courts put back up. In the beginning, kids weren't even comfortable with coming outside because there were shootings on 61st. There was, car, thieving. People were stealing cars. People were doing everything in the Model Market area, where it looked like a ghost town. And it was like, what happened? We used to play marbles outside, play kickball. And he was just like, let's do it. And I'm like, let's do it then. Don't say nothing if you ain't ready to do it. So we did it. And then the focus was to give the youth a voice, because I had felt when we were younger that the elders didn't really embrace us, enough. So it was like, well, we can't become them. We have to lead by example. I'm a veteran. So in the military, they teach you the acronym leadership. That's loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage, right? So I always will be selfless, because selfless service is the best way to be selfless. Is I need to do it because I was already serving in the military. So just because that battle is over, the war isn't over, because we don't completely have peace. So we have to I need to scratch your back. I need to help you. I need to catch you if you fall. I need to encourage you instead of discourage you. I believe that, like I said, we all die. The goal isn't to live forever, but to create something that will. Peace in the Streets Kenosha, Inc. is a conduit for the actual social, transformative, and restorative justice. And the thing is that if we actually go back and listen to I Have a Dream, he wanted all colors to work together. But at the same time, it's like an AA meeting. You have to admit you have a problem. And until society admits the injustice that's been done to African-American males and African-Americans community alone, then there's no way to step and start the work. You have to admit. I was engulfed by Martin Luther King because of his imperfections. I like the fact that he gave the I Have a Dream speech, and the next day he gave the speech on I had a dream, but I woke up. And he talked about the financial aspect of how we need financial literacy. We need, economic growth inside the African-American community. And I love the fact that he played pool and he was friends with Malcolm X. I like the fact that he wasn't perfect and I'm not perfect. So that always motivated me with, like, if he could actually still stay positive while his whole life was still under a microscope and he wasn't perfect, but he still stayed true to himself and stayed true to his work. So that's why you'll find me with any group. I don't care if they're in the streets or in the boardroom. I don't care if the police officers are gangbangers. I'ma still kick it with you. I'll shoot a game of pool with you. I'll go out and play basketball with you. Or we can sit down and write some laws. We can put, pen to paper and actually have a conversation and just come up with an educated theory of how we can get this done to make our city great.
Seeds of Hope and Gregory Bennett Jr., Gateway Technical College thanks you for your service to our community and keeping Dr. King's spirit, dream, and memory alive.
Thank you, Jacqueline. And congratulations again to the 2021 Gateway Technical College Humanitarian Award winners. For the last 4 years, Gateway Technical College has held a day of service for staff, students, and the community the week of the Dr. King Jr. holiday. Yes, being in the middle of a global pandemic presents challenges for such an event, but the needs in our community remain great. The video you are about to see explains how in our 5th year, you can still participate in a day of service while remaining safe in your homes. The video you just saw, as well as additional information regarding the Day of Service program, is available on the gtc.edu/MLK website. It is now time for our keynote speaker. Dr. Tammy Summers is the Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at Gateway Technical College and has the distinct honor of overseeing the college DEI initiatives and strategic plan. Tammy began her journey at Gateway in 2006, working as a disability support instructor, and in this role, she provided support services and accommodations to Gateway students with disabilities as they worked on pursuing their 2-year associate degrees, certificates, and other training opportunities. Dr. Summers received her bachelor's and master's degrees from the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater in special education. She went on to obtain her doctorate degree from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee in urban education, focusing on adult and continuing education. Dr. Summers has always understood the importance of having a good education and what impact education can have in transforming the lives of people from all walks of life. Tammy encourages others to focus on personal strengths and use them as a guide towards overcoming barriers and discovering new solutions. She believes that with hard work and dedication, anything is possible. A strong advocate for giving back to the community and helping others, Dr. Summers truly believes it is important to volunteer in the community. She is a 28-year active member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, where she volunteers and gives of herself to the community on projects related to education, mental health, and academic scholarships. Recently, Dr. Summers was selected to serve on the YWCA Southeastern Wisconsin Board of Directors. The The YWCA's mission of eliminating racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, and freedom is what Dr. Summers stands for. We are all looking forward to your presentation on response, resiliency, and restoration. I present to some and introduce to other my friend and colleague, Dr. Tammy Summers.
Thank you, Ms. Zena, for that warm introduction. I would first like to begin, excuse me. I would first like to begin by taking you on a journey. The year was 1968. The day was Tuesday, February 6th, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was giving a speech to the local 1199 Union. There, he stated the following: "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope." This quote is just as true in 2021 as it was in 1968. Dr. King wanted us to know that in the moment of disappointment, we must remain limitless with our hope and therefore respond for the good of all people, demonstrate our resilience, and create communities that serve all people. I want to say Happy New Year and greetings to all my Gateway students, colleagues, community partners, family, and friends. Today, we gather together virtually. Who would have thought, right, that we would have to gather in this manner? But we're celebrating 27 years of a Martin Luther King Jr. celebration. On this day, we will honor and reflect not only on the words and wisdom and ideas of Dr. King, but also the action that I believe Dr. King would want us to take in 2021. Our theme today is response, resiliency, and restoration. And I intend to share with you how Gateway Technical College is responding, demonstrating resilience, and restoring hope in the area of diversity, equity, and inclusion. For the time that we spend together today, family, I will often refer to us as a group and a family. We have our extended family that we work with daily, and then we have our family out in the community that we serve and beyond. So I'm going to ask right now, family, for some virtual grace, because you never know what will happen in this online world that we live in and technology and what could go wrong. And I also want to extend a special thank you to those who have helped plan this awesome program, from our facilities team, our marketing team, the MLK program celebration team. I want to also say thank you to Miss Abby. You all don't see her right now, but she is helping facilitate all the videos and clicking of the slides. So let's give them a virtual applause. Today, I am extremely proud to share with you how Gateway Technical College and the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion and our DEI programming see ourselves as a catalyst for hope and for healing. We have started this journey by engaging in challenging conversations, sharing information, raising consciousness and awareness, but most importantly, moving forward in order to create the most inclusive work and learning environment that we can. And we want to say, next slide, that you belong here. It's important for us to know that you belong here, if it's in your local community, your home, or at Gateway Technical College. Next slide. So let us start this journey on how Gateway Technical College responded. On June 25th, 2020, our president, Dr. Brian Albrecht, announced that Gateway will have its first Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And I was given the distinct honor of leading that office as its vice president. My role, along with the creation of the Office of DEI, was our response to centralizing our diversity programming and implementing transformational change for our students, our employees, and for the communities that we serve. Well, I want to share, since I already said we're family, I want to share a little personal secret with you. We all are familiar with Dr. King's dream and what dream he had for us, but I certainly did not dream that I would be in the position I'm in today. But I responded to the call that Dr. Albrecht made, and from there, I took on the service, and the Office of DEI hit the ground running. So how did we respond, you may ask? Well, here's a brief list regarding our diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives that are taking place at our college. So we have the formation of our Office of DEI webpage, and Abby's gonna click to that real quickly so that you can see. Thank you so much. And of course, You Belong Here is our message and our theme. And here we share a whole host of information regarding not only the statistics related to our institution, but also our Gateway Technical College message and statement regarding diversity, equity, and inclusion. Further down as you go and explore our website, you will see information about our programming, how you can get involved, and we also share there information about the Wisconsin Technical College commitment to diversity as well. And so you can learn about our entire 16 college system. We've shared information that our library provides on DEI, so we're very proud of our progress in this short time. In addition, you can return back, Abby. Thank you. In addition, the other activities that we have done, crucial conversations. So allowing people the opportunity to unpack some of the emotions that they have been feeling with all that is going on. We've discussed the current state of racism. We've talked about whiteness, white allyship, living and working through COVID-19. That was a really good conversation. Being a Latino at Gateway, and supporting each other during divisive political times. And how can we support one another? We also are formulating our Equity Allies team that will be our champions throughout the college. And this will involve faculty, staff, and students who will give support for our DEI efforts. And then finally, Brian mentioned earlier, our newest venture, our DEI community workshop series called Communicating Respectfully in a Diverse World, and being able to offer the services and expertise that we have here at Gateway to community members. Next slide. We also have a whole host of professional development and training going on for students, staff, faculty, and our board members here at Gateway Technical College. We started our Diversity, Equity, Inclusion book club, and we also offer bystander and bias training, along with the one that we offer probably the most, ouch, that stereotype hurts. So I want to share with you, this is just a snapshot of what's happening at our college. And we continue, as Ms. Zena mentioned, about disability support services and where I started my career here. We have our disability support services, our Office of Civil Rights, and our strong partnership with the multicultural program, as well as our student life team. But all of these college efforts and programming require us to be intentional with our efforts of being inclusive and collaborative. So I want to share a little video with you that highlights the importance of being collaborative with other people and how that impacts growth and transformation.
There are people out there that would consider me, quote unquote, I hate this word, but a terrorist.
As an Indigenous person, you were known as somebody who potentially could be a drunk, have substance abuse issues.
Being Indian, they may have expected me to know a lot about computers.
It's sometimes a really unique experience navigating the world as a person with a disability who looks to be completely able-bodied.
He made a comment about, well, don't worry about this that's going on because you won't be here too much longer. You'll be off having your next baby soon.
Most women are, told they need to behave a certain way.
People really think that my generation is lazy.
Just another blonde waitress.
Hey, do you rap?
The only Black girl. I didn't belong.
I guess kind of growing up, people made these assumptions about what I was supposed to be, but it was really eye-opening for me to realize that I had been making those same assumptions myself.
We all like to think that we're inclusive, but sometimes we don't actually step back and think, wait a second, did I hear everybody in the room?
I mean, don't judge is the message, but it's also hard not to. I always thought that every gay man was flamboyant and rude.
The older generation is set in their ways.
Initially, I thought there was something weird about a girl who would want to be a camera operator because of the word cameraman, and we still have to work past these things and stuff.
I went into the school on my first day, and there's these little girls, and they're wearing hijabs, and I was really intimidated by that.
Have your initial judgments, but also be willing to learn.
My definition of inclusion is a world and a society in which constructed barriers have been torn down.
Inclusion for me is setting up an environment where everybody is comfortable.
Open to accept other people's opinions.
All individuals, regardless of their diversity, feel welcomed, feel respected.
It means that they don't have to try to be what others expect them to be.
Change is possible, but it takes the right person to make a change happen.
I had a shop floor supervisor who stood up for me and sent out a company-wide email saying that Robin has every legal right to use the women's change rooms. It's funny because you do find allies in some of the strangest places.
One thing we can do to support inclusion is to talk about it.
You have to demonstrate that you're committed to this.
Get to know people around you. Do something different. Learn something different. Learn about a culture.
Different races, different religions, different belief systems, and see what there's good in all those things.
Be an active listener. That's one of the things I practice with other immigrants as well.
Open up your mind and take your time and get to know someone instead of putting them in this box. Because showing that interest, it's gonna surprise you.
Ask me a stupid question. I don't care if it's a stupid question, just ask me.
I'm an open book and willing to answer them.
I don't see it as a negative thing. I see it as a teachable moment.
Just ask me how to pronounce my name.
It's simple. You decide that other people's feelings and experiences matter.
We need to have more uncomfortable conversations so that we can drive more inclusion. And oftentimes, it's not easy.
And it's important, otherwise change will never happen.
My name is Shomodeep Ganguly, but people call me Sam.
I am Layla Karem.
Mutsa Matanga.
Ms. Geneviève Leblanc.
Ashley Pasila.
Patrick Duff.
Neil McLaughlin.
Helena Gotchling.
Rod Bolger.
Jessica Shue.
Kazim Marcano. I'm a chef and I forge metals.
A proud mother.
Forklift operator and a truck driver.
I envision a day when we can just be so accepting of each other, where we can make space for others.
DEI work requires great reflection, challenges, and triumphs. As mentioned in the video, discussing diversity, equity, and inclusion is not an easy topic to bring up with family, friends, or co-workers. We all think differently. We have different life experiences and perspectives, but I strongly believe we all possess the hope and understanding that we are all more alike as people than we are differently, and that collectively we can make things change. So family, I want you to reflect on now your personal response in creating a community that is more inclusive and equitable. Earlier today, earlier in the program, you heard about our humanitarian award winners and the amazing work that they are doing. And you also heard about our impact program offering days of service that you could do, 5 days. I think that there were listed numerous things that you could do for service safely during this pandemic. I often get, for me, people to approach me and say, Tammy, Dr. Summers, I want to help. I want to make a change, but I just don't know where to start or what to do. So I just want to, next slide, offer you 3 little steps that I think could help get you on a path of making a difference and responding. So first, identify what your talents and skills and gifts are. What do you bring? What can you create? Then second, where can you make a change? Will this be a personal change in yourself? Will you expand your knowledge about a particular area? Are you wanting to make a change in your home, work, school, or in your local community? And then third, get started now. Don't wait. We don't have time to wait. As a community and as a family, sadly, we are losing fellow neighbors, family, and friends, not only to the coronavirus, but other things. And every day that we wait, we are not creating the harmonious community that we deserve. We want to make sure that we are creating a place that provides resources and support to all people. Next slide. A key to making progress and getting started also involves our ability to overcome roadblocks. They are going to come. We know barriers and obstacles always happen when we are making change of any kind. Having resiliency will be needed for an ongoing DEI journey. In order to move forward in achieving any goal, dream, better circumstance, we need to be resilient. Dr. Nan Henderson wrote a book on resiliency and defines it as, resiliency is the ability to overcome challenges of all kinds, trauma, tragedy, personal crisis, or just plain old everyday life dramas and situations, but we bounce back stronger, wiser, and personally more powerful. Next slide. So now resilience, it doesn't necessarily mean that we ignore or not discuss those difficult challenges that have brought us to this point. I believe that personal growth happens when we have uncomfortable but respectful conversations about the issues of diversity, gender identity, poverty, power, civil unrest. That emotion that you feel when you're being challenged to understand a different perspective, be open and reflective, that inside little twinge, I want you to pause. I want you to lean into that feeling. Don't try to hide or escape that emotional discomfort. Resiliency is built in those reflective moments. You can build your personal level of resilience by educating yourself, staying positive, maybe using meditation. Those of you who know me here in Madrigano as well as in virtual land know that I believe in the Calm app for meditation. But you need to also find people who will ground you, make you honest, and keep you motivated. I want you to stay focused on what you are trying to change in yourself first, and then make a change happen for others. Currently, we are all building a level of resilience that we didn't know we had before COVID-19. Within our homes and schools and businesses, we have stretched ourselves physically, emotionally, and mentally beyond what we thought was possible. However, I believe that the diversity in ideas and our problem solving, flexibility, and our level of endurance and optimism builds a different level of resilience in each one of us. Working through these struggles means getting through the tough situations as an individual, but also calling upon those and using their talents and strengths as well. In launching the Office of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion and our programming at Gateway, nothing has been without a few struggles, positive and negative feedback, criticism of myself, our president, our DEI programming. However, these circumstances have led to growth and a greater understanding of why diversity, equity, and inclusion is so important. Next slide. So in building our team resilience, I've decided to name them at Gateway Technical College. They didn't know that either, family. We have our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Steering Committee and Leadership Team who have expertise, outside views, different opinions, and they lead many of the impactful projects that we have going on in our college. We also have numerous work groups and projects going on that involve staff, faculty throughout our college, from our nursing area to the library, financial aid, support services, deans, and many other senior leaders. As an institution, we have been able to recover and reflect on any setbacks or disappointments that have come our way, and we move towards solutions for the greater good. Next slide. The last part of our theme that I wish to address is restoration. Restoration is defined as an action for returning something to place or condition. But I also want to add to restoration the idea of being renewed, restored, reestablished, and revived in your faith that we can have a better society. As a family, how do we go about the process of restoration and renewal? Well, we have to first start with acknowledging the fact that things need to change and that collectively we have the power to change it. In my family, like many of yours, I was taught when harm or hurt of any kind was done to another family member or friend, the first step is acknowledging the situation, apologizing, and beginning the process of restoring that person's faith. This involves us taking action on our mistake, changing our behavior, and actively working to restore that relationship or situation. Oftentimes, we know this can be a challenge for all of us as human beings. None of us want to jump right away to acknowledge we made a misstep. But we don't want to run from those challenging conversations or situations. I want us to remain focused on our intent and recognize the impact of our words and action. Next slide. Wise words were once spoken by Dr. Maya Angelou, who said, "When you know better, you do better," right? When you know better, you do better. And we are certainly at a pivotal point in our college here at Gateway, in our communities, and in our country to do better. Now, as a family, we have to recognize that the road to success won't necessarily be easy. However, taking steps to create a more diverse and equitable and inclusive community will lead to a stronger, peaceful society for not only all of us, but for future generations. Now, I realize in recent months, weeks, and days, we have faced many challenges and disappointments. And more than likely, we will still have a few more before our full glory and spirit is renewed. These disappointments have garnered national and local headlines, from George Floyd to Breonna Taylor, to right here in Kenosha, Jacob Blake, and most recently, the riots at our nation's capital. These events illustrate how much work still needs to be done in order for us to move our society forward and build a brighter place for all of us to live our most authentic and true lives. Next slide. So let's think about and rewrite some of these headlines. What do we want them to say? So I know you weren't expecting to come here virtually and have homework, but you got a little homework. In the next 5 years, what do we want the headlines to say about diversity, equity, and inclusion in our communities or schools? So here are a few examples that I brainstormed regarding our DEI programming here at Gateway Technical College. That Gateway Technical College is named for the 5th year in a row a Hispanic Serving Institution, a HSI. Also, Gateway Technical College received the top diversity award in the nation for implementing an anti-racism curriculum that focuses on leadership, policy, and classroom teaching strategies. Now, as Dr. King stated, let not your finite, your right now disappointment cause you to lose infinite eternal hope. We should recognize and celebrate our differences, but more importantly, let us recognize our humanity towards one another. Therein lies really the endless hope, our humanity, that things will be better. Next slide. In closing, I want to challenge you to decide how you will be a part of that hope and restoration in making our community a better place today than we were yesterday. For our children, future generations, and those who will come behind us, let us all work together to build a better place today than we were yesterday. I want to leave you with a little inspiration, a song that I really enjoy and that gives me spirit, so that we can look forward to that glorious day.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will
Hands to the heavens, no man, no weapon formed against, yes, glory is destined. Everyday women and men become legends. Sins that go against our skin become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtaposition in us. Justice for all just ain't specific enough. One son died, the spirit is revisiting us. True and living in us. Resistance is us. That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. When it go down, we woman and man up. They say stay down, and we stand up. Shots, we on the ground, the camera panned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, glory. Oh, glory, glory. Now the war is not over, victory isn't won, but we'll fight on to the finish. And then when it's all done, we'll cry glory, oh glory, oh. We'll cry glory, oh glory, oh. Selma is now for every man, woman, and child. Even Jesus got his crown in front of a crowd. They march with the torch, we gon' run with it now. Never look back, we done gone hundreds of miles. From dark roads, heroes, to become a hero. Facing the League of Justice, his power was the people. Enemy is lethal, a king became regal. Saw the face of Jim Crow under a bald ego. The biggest weapon is to stay peaceful. We sing, our music is the cuts that we bleed through. Somewhere in the dream we had an epiphany. Now we right the wrongs in history. No one can win a war individually. It take the wisdom of the elders and young people's energy. Welcome to the story we call victory. The coming of the Lord, my eyes have seen the glory. One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, when the war is won, when it's all said and done, we'll cry glory, oh glory, 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 hallelujah.
We can all live in a society of peace and togetherness, but you individually have to decide how you are going to make today and our future a better place than it was yesterday. Thank you so much, family. Be blessed and stay safe.
We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Thank you, Dr. Summers, for inspiring us to keep hope alive, to respond, to be resilient, and to be restored, and for also challenging us to be a part of the solution by helping to restore others. You can all respond and help to restore others by participating in the activities presented in the 5th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service video. The Day of Service video, the program booklet, the humanitarian award videos, and further information regarding today's event are available at gtc.edu/MLK. Thank you to the Planning Committee members, Gateway Technical College IT staff, facility staff, and the Horticulture and Community and Government Relations departments. Dr. King said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." Deanna Garrison and all people, young and old, continue to have something to say. Dr. King also said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." Congratulations to this year's Humanitarian Award winners for standing up and responding to challenge and to controversy. Our hope is that you have been encouraged today to respond, to be resilient, and to restore. One of my favorite quotes of Dr. King is, "We may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now." COVID-19 paid no respect to persons and has hit the four corners of the globe. We have all been through a safer at home lockdown, transitioning to virtual learning and working from home, wearing a mask, social distancing, constant hand washing, and even a toilet paper shortage. The whole world knows, and we will never forget, that racial tension is at the forefront of issues in our little corner of Southeast Wisconsin. I wondered what Dr. King would have said if he were alive today. I believe he would have repeated some of his quotes and some of his renowned speeches, and I put a few of them together. "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward." Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. Change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. And from his letter from a Birmingham jail, let us all hope that the dark clouds of racial prejudice will soon pass away and the deep fog of misunderstanding will be lifted from our fear-drenched communities, and some not too distant tomorrow, the radiant stars of love and brotherhood will shine over our great nation with all their scintillating beauty. It is going to take all of us to work together to create and to manage and to sustain positive change in Southeast Wisconsin. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the rest of your day.